Bonjour and welcome to Furious Driving, and you join me here in the driveway with what is conspicuously a Renault Megane Scenic, which is still here. Well, let me give you a quick recap in case you haven't seen the last couple of videos here on the channel. The other day, the Ford Focus Mk1 gear, that found a winner in the raffle. It went flying north to, where did we go to? Sunderland, that kind of area, South Shields in fact. Which is fine. So I took the car up there because I wanted to go and see a couple of friends, and I thought to come back, I won't take the train, I'll buy a car, and I'll buy a car that's popular enough and cheap enough that I can sell it when I get back and get my money back on the journey. So I've travelled for free. Genius, you think? And I've read about these kind of escapades many times and it's gone flawlessly. So I bought this car relatively cheaply. It's not an expensive car and it's a very good car with loads of history. So everything you could possibly want. Advertised it on eBay, Marketplace, stuck it on Car on Classic, told everyone about it across the socials. Two people were quite interested but didn't quite work out with either of them, so I've still got it. Then, rather annoyingly, this happened. That's not a wonderful noise, is it? Yeah, it's now a chewy sounding, manual operated driver's window. That's not a selling point, is it? So, I dropped the price and no one wanted to buy it because no one wants a car with a broken window. So today, I'm going to try and fit one of these, which is a window regulator, to this car to make it a delightfully saleable car once again. Because, quick recap on this car, it is a Y-Reg 2001 Renault Megane Scenic Dynamic Plus, which means it's got all the extras you could think of. It's got air conditioning, which may or may not work, hasn't blown very cold for me yet. It's got twin electric sunroofs. It's got half leather seats with seat back tables, which are awesome. All these seats apparently, I don't think they slide, but they all can be removed to turn it into a either double captain's chair type rear end of the car or a super luxurious van. We've got rear electric windows, a luxury item on these particular cars. We've got an air-conditioned cup holder area down there. We've got the radio cassette in the dashboard, plus we've got a CD changer down there. We've got cubby hole storage places galore, and it's got lots of history and it's just been serviced, and it's basically everything you want in an affordable family car. I can't believe no one snapped it up for 1,500 quid. Anyway, it's also dual mode because on this side it's a sport, although this is held on with self-tapping screws, which does concern me a tad. And this side, more fungal, it's a sport because, don't know why, also held on by self-tapping screws. The guy who had it last, I think, had a bit of an obsession with self-tapping screws because it's also got these extra reflectors screwed to the boot, and there was the orange one screwed on here which I took off just to see what was behind it, and just a little rubbing on the paint. Other than that, two really neat little holes. I've also ordered from off of Amazon, which hasn't turned up yet and I'm having a bit of dispute with them, some decal removing drill rubber brush things, which I used the same deal on the Focus to take the stuff off the side of that old people have put on there, which will take us back to being an awful lot nicer on all four corners. Right, let us progress. Now, apparently, it's not too hard to do this job. Honestly, I was not expecting to do any more content on this car, and any more content is a polite euphemism for saying I didn't want to fix it at all. I just wanted to buy it and then sell it and move on with my life. Unfortunately though, like most old cars, it broke. So here we are again, doing more content on this car. And by content, I do of course mean fixing it. Okay, so this is my first day wearing the Meta glasses, and now I'm editing the video and I've come back to tell you this little bit. I've noticed two things. First of all, I can only film in vertical, but I can crop it wide enough to make it work. So that's an interesting little thing from a technical point of view. But from your point of view, you might have noticed some kind of very faint talking in the background. And that's because I'm listening to an audio book through the headphones built into the glasses arms. And I didn't think that was audible to anyone outside of, well, my ears. Turns out the microphone can just about pick it up. So if you're wondering why there's a little kind of sound going on in the background, it's because the microphone is picking up my audible story. If you're curious though what I'm listening to, it's a book called Existentially Challenged by Yahtzee Croshaw, which is like a comedy drama about magic, extraterrestrials and interdimensional life forces coming through to take over people from this world and the understaffed government department that's trying to deal with it all. It's the second book in this series and it's actually not bad. So yes, I do apologise if you can hear a slight muffling noise. I thought it was about putting music over the background to try and drown it out, but people always get really angry when I put music as a bed on these videos. A lot of people like it, some people get really angry, so I tend to steer clear. Anyway, thank you. I do seem to have made something of a habit of taking door cards apart and replacing window regulators of late. The Alpha 159 needed its back doors doing. I'm sure I've done some other front doors of late. The Revo 200 VI needs its front driver's door window regulator replacing. The only problem with that one is I can't seem to find one, at least not affordably. Well, that's not a regular screw, that's a Torxy thing. I'll go and get a Torxy thing. But I think what we've got, Torxy thing, then we've got a couple of screws on the bottom. That'll then hoik off there with everything unplugged electronically. And then we've basically got two bolts and 3 nuts. And then the glass would separate and then we can undo the, you'll see, it's not difficult apparently. It's just finger destroyingly sharp and painful. So I actually got these meta glasses with the idea that I could sort of video what I was looking at and give you point of view things, but for some reason, even though it worked fine when I tested it last night, now I'm trying to use it, I can take a photo easy anytime I want to, but the video starting button isn't doing anything. This should be recording right now, but it's asking for a voice prompt instead. Super helpful. Meta, start recording. So we've just got 2 of these little small screws, again, which are a T15, okay. T15 there, T15 there, T15 there, and I think a T20 or 30 up there, and then that should see us free. Now we've got some trim pry tools, and hopefully we can then click everything off this. I wonder what that is. Small metal clip. I'm sure it's not important. Fun additional fact, there are hidden screws. You have to pry the grill off the speaker and then undo the 2 screws that hold the speaker in, because those also go into the door frame as well. Then we can undo this thing and we're now free to remove this dust. That needs to come off as well. Carefully pry this out, don't force it, just work it back and forth so nothing snaps. Because this car is now old enough that its plastics are on the verge of becoming brittle. There we go, not broken. There we go. So we've got a connection under here for the mirrors, that comes out. Then we've got a connection down here. Well, there should be a connection down here for the window switches, but I can't see how you get to them. That's usefully inaccessible. I'll just leave that like that for now. I'm sure it'll be fine. So this is now the inside of our door, and this is the not really doing very much any more wire, which we need to be dealing with. The metal strut is held on top and bottom with these 10mm bolts, and then we've got these 3 10mm nuts that hold the motor in place, and we're going to undo this and take it all out as one unit, including the motor but not including the glass. This should now all wheel out, I think, relatively easily. This is a big brackety thing which kind of is in the way of everything, so I'm taking that out. So hopefully that'll make life a bit easier. So we need to disconnect the glass from here. Not quite sure how. Ah, okay, hold it. This clip kind of fell off, but I think that's what holds it in place. There we go. That is now free, ouch, from the glass, but it means I've got to pull the glass up and separate it. There we go. Glass detached. Hooray! I need tape. There we go. So, bit of gaffer tape, and hopefully that won't crash down, smash, and cut my fingers off. There we go. Ta-da! This is the non-functional Hoojmy flip. So before I unwrap the new one, just make sure we've got the same thing. So we've got our sliding part with a nubbin that goes just there, which the slidey connector goes onto, same as on here. We've got a curved bit of metal just there, the screw hole just there, and this one, the broken one, you can see the cable should be coming out just there, but it isn't. The new one, it is. It goes down here, where this is horribly tangled in the old one, and we'll pop this motor off. And of course we've got the motor fixed on the back of there, which will then transfer across. So yeah, this looks like it's pretty much the same thing. And the fixings are all in the same place. It did say there might be some minor differences in the overall shape, but generally it's all the same, which is what matters. So let's get this thing switched over. So these all, at least it's getting windy and probably going to rain soon. That's a bonus. So that then disconnects from that, slots on the back of there, and luckily everything seems to line up. Let's try and get this into the door without anything breaking. And the thing about doing car windows, it's not terribly expensive. I mean, it's only like 20 quid for this component. It's just a lot of faff making it all fit into the door without breaking anything or getting cut to pieces. So I think what I need to do is reconnect the motor and then drop the thingamajig just there so I can move it all in, and of course everything's covered in grease now. So I can get this down roughly in the same place, and then there we go, that just jumps straight through there, perfect. And then put the clip back on through there. Wow. That is literally done. God, that's way easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be an absolute nightmare job. But no, just got to put a few screws back in and a few bolts, and then we are laughing. Ah ha ha ha. Oh wait. I've just realised why I'm not laughing, and that is because this here, on the original, that was captive screws. On this one, it's got screw threads. I'm going to go and try and find some nuts that fit so I can put it all back together again. Fortunately, I never throw away nuts and bolts and screws because you never know when they're going to come in handy. I have 3 lovely shiny new little screws which fit perfectly into here. So all I need to do now, I wonder what that was. Oh yeah, I put that in finger tight, didn't I? Found it. Now these, I've got interesting double clips to screw them in and clip them in. Now because we've seen this movie before, I'm just going to quickly check it goes all the way up and all the way down before I put everything back together again. All the way up, all the way down, and take the tape out so it's not blocking it completely. The tape didn't work very well because it was wet. Try that one more time. All the way up. How'd you like them apples? Bada bing. Now we just need to put everything back together again. Kind of glad I left everything connected wire-wise for the buttons. That proved to be quite handy. So was, as with most doors, you kind of hang the top bit first. That kind of slots over, and everything just kind of bangs into place. You know, I did this on one door once upon a time, and someone commented on the video, "Oh, you're so heavy-handed." Well, clearly you don't know what you're doing in that case. I don't know what I'm doing because I didn't put that trim clip back in first. Now I need to untrim it all. Second time lucky, there's a black bit of trim which goes against the glass, which I had conveniently forgotten. Start with the speaker. That just drops into there. Incredibly, after not that much time, all we need to do is clip on, if I can, the speaker grill And a little bit of trim here. Done! Amazing! I have fixed a window on a Renault. So that actually wasn't the worst window regulator I've done. Sometimes you can come away with like no skin on any of your knuckles at all. That was actually, as these things go, relatively pleasant. Well done, Renault, for making a car that's easy to fix. I'm impressed. This is a really nice car to be in. I'm amazed no one has snapped this car up. I'm putting it back up to the original price, 1,500 quid again, because it's now got the window fitted, which now does actually work. Like a glove. But not a glove, just smooth, it's lovely. It was a bit noisy when I first got it, and I thought that's fair enough, it's an old car. But then after I put it up for sale and it went grindy and then stopped working entirely, I thought that's actually a bit of a problem. Hence the fact I knocked a couple £100 off the price of the car, because, well, basically, I know it's not a difficult thing to do, but unless you're a DIYer, that's going to be charging you a couple of hours labour at the garage. So I figured I'd take it into account in the price, but I guess it's enough to put people off, because people buying a car don't want to do anything, they just want to drive away. Most people aren't YouTubers looking for a project, it turns out. Anywho, right, so possibly this is the end of the video, so thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please hit like and subscribe. This car is available if you're interested in an 87,000 mile, lots of service history, I think full service history, I think actually. I've got a book here I've not actually looked at properly yet. Recently serviced, recently window repaired, lovely spec, Megane Scenic, great family car. Drop me an email into the address in the link below, bodyinthebook@gmail.com. If this doesn't end right now, it's because the weather in the morning was actually quite pleasant, and I thought, let's keep cleaning this thing up and try and make it shine and sparkle a wee bit more, and put some fresh photos on the next advert for it, because, well, let's face it, it's a lovely car. I don't understand why it's not selling. I think basically I'm going to keep dropping the price and improving it, so by the time by the time it sells, it's basically going to be fully serviced, 4 new tyres, refurb wheels, full bare metal respray, and the price will be 300 quid. Trust me, that won't happen. Anyway, right, either thanks for watching, or check the runtime left on this video, because we might have a few minutes left to go. Don't hang up yet. Ooh, Rover 75 Estate, man, that's filthy. So this is now the bit after the bit before. As you can see on the roof of the car, it is very wet indeed today. It's been thundering and raining and you know what, so the car is not getting any cleaning done on it at the moment. It's now got a functioning window, so my plan is give it a couple more days, see if I can get any more interest in someone buying this car. If no one is interested by the after the weekend, then guess what? We've got ourselves a new raffle mobile. This is a nice car, but I don't need it, and I need to be not taxing and insuring so many cars, and the point of this car was purely to drive home and hopefully sell within 12 hours. That's failed miserably. So, okay, if we raffle this car, then hopefully I can at least get my money back in that respect instead. So, fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the business.